Come things invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional. For today's items only, the investment we're going to talk today will be Ethereum ETH. First, want to say happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope a great week, by the way. Respect to recording time of 9:41 a.m. on the Eastern time. Ethereum currently trading $4,674, up about 5.03% so far. With respect to overall crypto market and the equity market, on the equity market, it's kind of normalizing, leaning more towards a positive sentiment, while at the same time, crypto is prominently displaying a positive sentiment among investors right now ahead of the Jerome Powell speech that's expected to happen later today. And with respect to the speech, we'll hear a little bit more about, with respect to the economic outlook going forward, with respect to the tapering timeline, how obviously going to be triangulating with the COVID variants, the Omicron, breakout that we've experienced recently from that sell-off on Friday. How's that going to be triangulating between the mandates of the job numbers and any foreseeable, metrics that we might gain some insights from Jerome around the CPI report as well. So all of these triangulations, obviously, on a more of an anticipatory perspective, crypto is something that Jerome has already given us a confidence on, that he has no intentions of banning crypto a while back. I think it's about a month ago that he publicly announced that initiative, that the Fed will be working on improving upon the compliance and regulatory infrastructure. But with respect to suspending in the severity level comparable to China, or even what India has mentioned recently from the president, nothing in that manner, right? We are further cultivating the corporate adoption and utilizations in the ecosystem. So we got to work on this one day at a time. So with all of these affectation, at the same time with the rebound that we've had on Friday, and the bond yield seem to be normalizing as well. Seems like on the technical front, we are triangulating into a golden cross at the moment for Ethereum specifically. So before I dive into technical analysis, let's just dive into the news real quick to see what's going on in the last 12 hours so far. So first one on Decrypt about 40 minutes ago, talk about Solana, which is a startup, a photograph-centric NFT platform. They just raised about $2 million to propel the rising Ethereum photo NFT markets. All the JPEG images and stuff like that, right? So it seems like there's some funding backing from the venture capital industry. And the next one is talking about with respect to something related to Twitter. So we heard the confirmation on the official announcement on Jack Dorsey stepping down from, being the Twitter CEO. But with respect to one of the tech bloggers, Jane Wong specifically, that's her name. I don't really know her, but she's a popular technology blogger on Twitter, obviously. She said that, so with respect to the Twitter feature, there is implementations to improve upon the platform by allowing its users to receive Ethereum as a form of tip payment. So interesting, but more trivial. But seems like despite Jack Dorsey's being a Bitcoin maximalist, he is capturing that utilization on a commercialization front, allowing its subscribers or Twitter followers to be receiving Ethereum as a tip. And then the next one is called Kelly Strategic Management. So there's a company that's based off Denver. It's an investment firm, obviously, and they are filing for Ethereum futures NFT. Not NFT, ETF. I get the words mixed up. So it seems like there's some more, financial adoption. It seems like this investment firm is initializing that with a collaboration with the SEC right now. So that's something that we appreciate, because with that, it will triangulate into some sort of an index fund that incentivize corporate investors or institutional investors to be investing into this ETF, which also translates into more buying activities for ETF based on the proposition of Ethereum, right? And then the next one, on Bazinga about 17 hours ago, talk about Ethereum to $12,000 by year end. Here's what the chart says. So another speculative article. We are basically in December now. Tomorrow, What's today's date? Today's Tuesday, right? So today's the last day of November. So tomorrow's the 1st, right? December. Do we see a surge by like close to 3x, 300% in the next basically 30 days from here? I would say the likelihood would be relatively slim. But what do I know? I'm not a wizard. But we are in the golden cross level. But I think 6,500 to 7,000 would not be surprising to me based on the cup and handle seems like we're forming closely right now. So something we can dive into in a bit. So next one's on Bazinga again. 21 hours ago, talk about Coinbase stock could rip, and this is another recurring news that we've already heard yesterday. Basically, it's this direct correlation to the surge that we've been experiencing among Bitcoin and Ethereum rally, right? And overall, just general market rebound that we've experienced ever since Friday, and then the subsequent weekend sell off to triangulate into the current surge that we're experiencing right now. So let's dive into the technicals right now. So with respect to recording time of 9:47 a.m. on the Eastern time, Ethereum can trade $4,680, up about 5.17% so far. As you can see clearly, we are forming a cup and handle, or at least the cup is still forming, right? We gotta take some time for us to get back to all-time high. We're basically about like $150 away from all-time high, right? And right now we just form a cross section. So this is a golden cross, so it's very bullish at the moment. Despite all of that surge, we are still at the normalized level, at the 57, more upper echelon of the normalized level. So as we form that cup, right, we will get that rim on the 4,871. We'll have a slight dip because that's a consolidation resistance level. That's just logical. As we did that, we will basically form a handle, which will subsequently incentivize the market to rally from that. That's when the euphoria will drive into the ecosystem on driving the price level for Ethereum to go all-time high. So I think the picture is coming in together, and this is a classic cup and handle that we're seeing right now. You can see clearly there is a cup that is being formed right now, right? So that's something we appreciate, and right now it is up about 5% right now. So for us, I think it just makes sense to hold. But if you want to buy now, because we just formed a preliminary golden cross, but the RSI is still at a relatively, upper echelon level, incurring risk at the moment would require you to hold it for a long term, right? Because the risk is high when the price is going up by 5%, right? So collectively, we went up by close to 10% in the last couple of days so far, ever since the rebound. So with respect to Bitcoin, we are doing something comparable, but it's a little bit more laggy. We have not even formed a golden cross yet, so it seems like Ethereum is a lot more bullish in comparisons to Bitcoin, which is, true. And I think we have a long way to go, right, with respect to going up to the next level to form even a rim on the cup, right? So I think Ethereum is separating from the Bitcoin trajectory and the momentum. So quite interesting, right? We are at the normalized level at the 47 out of 70. We are still forming a more of a cross section upward right now. So something we think about with respect to Bitcoin. I think in terms of like, would you be buying Bitcoin or Ethereum? I think Ethereum is a little bit more bullish at the moment because of the signs that we're showing right now. But Bitcoin is not a bad hedge either, because ultimately, Bitcoin is the one that a lot of corporate investors are invested in, despite the surge that we're seeing right now. So this is more of a short-term affectation ahead of the Jerome Powell speech, right? And also with respect to some of the news that we already heard earlier today on the price predictions, the Twitter implementations on ETF tips, and et cetera, et cetera. So Dogecoin right now, it's at an okay level with the 44. We are about to form a golden cross, so I think ideally still a good buy. Again, right, anywhere from current level to the 1950 is still the dip from here. Cardano is reviving, but it's still like, obviously because of the, suspension news on eToro, and obviously stem from some legality issues. Again, 145 was the dip, right? And, I know some people actually got it at 141. So congrats to you that actually bought the dip logically. Right now, it's struggling. We're still at the oversold level, but we're about to form some sort of a golden cross as well. So I think Cardano is still a buy right now, despite the, negative connotation that we're seeing right now. Solana is at 213 right now. at the moment, it's just basically public investors chasing in because of the whole drag on the Ethereum. I think Ethereum is becoming slowly a market driver. With the 51 out of 70, we're slowly forming together. And I think if Ethereum was to break all-time high, Solana is going to also break all-time high as well, accordingly. But right now the risk is still not in your favor, so I think ideally dollar cost at the lower level and more consolidated level, anywhere from 154, 133 to 113 is still better level. XRP got back up above 101, so that's great. Again, the dip was at the 88 cents or the 93 cents, which is extremely logical for those two that incur risk. And I think if we are gonna, if Ethereum and Bitcoin are gonna keep surging, right, to all-time high, XRP is just gonna follow through, right? We're up about 5% right now, so probably wait off for now. But if you want to buy it now because you want to hold it for long term, that's a good level for you to incur risk right now. Knowing the fact that anywhere around $1 to like 88 cents is still a good logical level to incur risk. Polkadot right now, again, the dip was at the 33 to the 25. So for those actually bought the dip, congrats. Right now we are reversing on this. In terms of the MACD chart, we are slowly fusing together, but we still have some room to go up to, right? As we go up and cross this, we will go up to the next level at the 45, which is the peak of it, right? And then it's all up in the air, right? The next level is technically in the 53, so we'll see how that goes. Right now, the okay level, so Polkadot is not a terrible level at the moment. ALGORAND's at 182 right now. Again, right, the 160 to 152 was still the dip. But it seems like we're forming a golden cross slowly at the 51 out of 70. So ideally, dollar cost average at the current level is not terrible as we go up to the... I think the aim is basically to go up to the 190 first. And then if we break 190, we're going to go to $2, which is obvious because of a flat number, right? Shiba Inu is being surged up right now with the 55 out of 70. Right now it's up about 14%, and we are forming a golden cross, so we will have some more buying pressure because of the trajectory of the baseball, right? Like the analogy that we talked about before. So ideally go up to the, if we get a surge up, right, it will be mainly driven by public investors for all these reasons. It will be to the 57.17 and then going to the 6265 from there. And we'll see how that goes because basically being dragged up by the key coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum respectively right now. So respect to risk management level, these are levels we've identified so far. Again, right, we are separating from it because of the reversal of the overall market and the technicals. We don't always stay within the resistance level that we've identified here, right? We only get those levels, briefly because there's a reason why people buy the dips, right? And for those that actually watch the technicals, the institutional investors bought the dip would be ideally around these levels, right? And some of the coins that we identify here are still within the frame of reference that we identify here. So feel free to take a look and refer back into the chart on seeing which ones are the ones that you feel the most logical for you to incur risk at right now. So really appreciate you. I'll look out for the Jerome Powell speech later today to hear a little bit more about what he's going to be saying, any specific insights that we should be aware of, and how to triangulate from the further unfold of the future going forward as well. So really appreciate you, and let me know if you have any questions, and stay tuned for the club. Take care. Bye.